So we're going to start off and I'm going to show you a sentence. And I would like you to practice saying this sentence, okay? All right, here's our sentence. So first, I want you to try and say this sentence. Go ahead and try it right now. Okay, so this sentence is rather tricky. Maybe you noticed that there are some words that when you say them, they sound very similar. But the important thing is that they are not similar. They are very different sounds, and it's important to get those sounds correct. So here and listen here to me. So I'm going to say them now, or I'm going to say the sentence now. I was thinking while sinking, and sinking while thinking. Did you hear the difference between the word thinking and the word sinking? It's very important to get those two words separately because they're two separate words with two separate meanings. And if you don't get them separate, then people will think that you're saying one of them when you're actually saying the other one. So this is what we're going to practice today. All right, so we're going to start off with the words that begin with TH or have the sound TH, th, inside them. All right, so go ahead and say the word in the top left corner. Okay. Thin, thin, thin. Did you do it correctly? Okay. Now try saying the word in the bottom left corner. The word is path, path, path. Okay. Now let's try for the word in the upper right corner. Say it now. Okay, the word is teeth, teeth, teeth. A good way to remember how to pronounce this word is that you need to be able to see your teeth, teeth, when you say teeth, teeth, right? And our bottom right word. Go ahead and say that word now. Okay, that word is three. 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 All right, how did you do? It's a little bit difficult to remember to do the th sound every single time that we talk, right? Okay, now let's practice our sentences with a th sound. Go ahead and say the top sentence now. Okay. I have a tooth in my mouth. I have a tooth in my mouth. You go ahead and try to say this sentence again now that you've heard me. Okay, let's try the middle sentence now. Let's walk along that path. So you try. I should have waited for you to try, but you can go ahead and try now. Okay, so again, I'll say the sentence. Let's walk along that path. This one's a little bit tricky. You notice how the word that is in italics, meaning that the all of the letters are kind of slanted like so. So I did that because this is an important word. You notice that the word also has th at the beginning. However, it's not quite the same sound as the TH in path. And do you know what the difference is? Here, let's go over to our whiteboard and I will explain. Oops, wrong one. Yay, there we go. Okay, so we have the word that and the word path, right? So this, let's make them like this. The word path. So when you say the word path, switch back so you can see me for a second. So I want you to say the word path and put your finger right here abouts on your neck so you can feel your throat and you can feel the air going up and down in your throat. Go ahead and say it now. Path, path, path. So when you say that, you notice that there isn't any air going through and your vocal cords, the ones that make the sounds, are not going like this. They're not vibrating, right? So now let's say the word that, 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 that. So when you say the TH in that, you should be able to feel the vibration, right? You can feel it tingling, right? Like this. That, that, right? So that's the big difference between the two TH sounds in English, is that one of them will be still, you won't feel anything like in path, and the other one will have vibrations like in that, right? So that's an important difference that you want to practice a lot, okay? So let's go on to our final sentence at the bottom. All right, now you try first. Okay, here we go. I can't think with this thin air. I can't think in this thin air. So, did you notice that there's another word, again, with TH sound, right? This, this, that, this. They're two words that use the vibrations when you're saying the TH sound. But the words think and thin do not have the vibration. They're just still. Okay. So, again, we have some minimal pairs. We talked about minimal pairs, I think, in our very first pronunciation video, because minimal pairs are the two words in English, or in any language really, but we're talking about English right now. They're two words that only have one sound difference between them, and it's usually a very small sound difference. That's why it's minimal, right? The smallest. So these are very important because the one small sound is so important because if you say it incorrectly, then you are saying a different word altogether, and that can be really confusing. So we're going to practice these minimal pairs, right? Let's look at the top left corner. All right, we have the words path and pass, path and pass, right? And so, okay, so you go ahead and try both of them now, path and pass. All right, tricky, isn't it? It's difficult to get the distinct sound between them. So let's look down at the bottom left. We have the words th, thin, and s, sin. Thin and sin. So do you see what my mouth is doing right here? Th, thin, and s, sin, sin. Sin. I'm almost making a whistling sound. You don't have to make a whistle sound. It's just what happens sometimes in some people's mouths. Sin, sin, right? Go ahead and try those two now. Okay, now let's look at the upper right corner. We have breathe and breeze. Breathe and breeze, right? Now the TH in breathe, I want you to put your fingers again on your neck and say the word breathe. Is it the one with the vibrations? Is it the vibration TH or the still TH? Breathe. Is it vibration or no vibration? Which one? So this one is vibration. Breathe, right? And the th sound is different from z. Breathe, breeze. Important distinction, okay? Important difference. So go ahead and practice those two words, breathe and breeze. Okay, so now let's look at our last pair down in the lower right corner. We have the words thick and sick. Thick and sick. For Japanese speakers, these might be two of the most difficult words in our lesson today to get the difference correct. They're both very common words that we use in the English language a lot, and it's important when you're trying to tell somebody something that you get the sounds right. Okay, thick and sick. Thick and sick. Go ahead and practice that now. Okay, thick and sick. Good job. So now we're going to move on to the secret of the TH sound. You might have remembered seeing this picture before because we used it in the, I believe, the previous pronunciation lesson. We were talking about, what were we talking about? We were talking about something or other. But it's another one of those sounds that has the tongue between the teeth. Th. This is the secret to making the strong TH sound, as you probably saw when you're watching me saying the words, right? Tongue between teeth. 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 Now, when you see other English speakers speak very fast and during a casual conversation, you'll probably notice that their tongue doesn't always go between the teeth when they say TH, but that's just because they're not trying to fully enunciate or fully clearly say their sounds, probably because they're not speaking to somebody who is a second language user. But the important thing is that when you're first learning these sounds, you need to start slow and you need to practice clearly. So in this case, it's better to make your movements bigger and more exaggerated when you're practicing. And then as you get more used to them, you will be able to speed up and then you can just do it naturally. You don't have to think about it. But for right now, when you're first practicing, it's important to put your tongue between your teeth, like that way you can guarantee that you are making the correct sound, okay? Remember that practice and accuracy should come before speed, or else there's no real point to it, right? If you're making the wrong sound, then it doesn't matter how fast you are. All right, so before we move on, let's go back and practice some of these minimal pairs. So let's go to the whiteboard. All right. So we're gonna have, let's see here. Thin and sin. Have sick, thick, and then we're going to have breathe, breeze, and breathe. Okay, so we're going to do just like we did last time. We're going to have the category 1 and category 2. So what I am going to do is I am going to say one of these words, and your job is to decide, did I say something from column 1 or column 2? Okay, and then I'll tell you the right answer. So listen carefully. Sin. Sin. Was that 1 or 2? The answer is 1. Sin. All right, here we go. Breeze. Breeze. Column 1 or column 2? The answer is column 1, breeze. Here we go again. The next one is path. Path. 1 or 2? This one is 2. Okay, here we go again. Sick. Sick. 1 or 2? The answer is 1. All right, here we go again. Thin. Thin. 1 or 2? The answer is 2. Okay, so now just to make it a little bit more complex, I'm going to put the word inside of a short sentence. And again, you have to decide, is it number 1 or number 2? Okay, you ready? Here we go. Pass me the butter. Pass me the butter. Pass me the butter. Number 1 or number 2? The answer is number 1. Pass. Pass me the butter. Okay. Here we go. Next word. That sweater looks thick. That sweater looks thick. That sweater looks thick. Is that number 1 or number 2? The answer is number 2. Thick. Thick. Okay. Here we go with our next sentence. Please stay on the path. Please stay on the path. Please stay on the path. That one's pretty easy. Number 1 or number 2? The answer is, in fact, number 2. It's a little bit easier to hear the sound when the word is right at the end of a sentence, right? Okay. Here we go with another sentence. I can't breathe very easily. I can't breathe very easily. I can't breathe very easily. Number 1 or number 2? The answer is number 2. Breathe. Okay. So let's go back here. So it's, again, as much as you can, practicing these minimal pairs will make your pronunciation a lot better in the long run. Okay, so now we move on to our second pronunciation point. And with this, these do not really have, or I guess these are the other side of the minimal pairs, right? So the minimal pairs on one side were the TH, the th sound, but these are the s without the TH sound, right? All right, so let's start with the upper left corner as always. Go ahead and say that word. The word is sick. Sick. Not thick, but sick, right? Also not chic, right? We don't want the SH sound either, which is very easy to do in Japanese because when you're pronouncing English words with a Japanese inflection, it's common to use the sh sound, but you want sick. Okay, let's go to the bottom left. Go ahead and say that word. The word is sing. Sing. Not thing or xing, but sing. Sing. All right, upper right. Go ahead and say that word. Our word is sink. Sink. Not think, but sink. Sink. Not shink. Sink. All right, and our last word on the bottom right. Go ahead and say it now. Our word is serious. Serious. Not serious, it's serious, right? And definitely not furious. Serious. Seriously. Okay, here we have our sentences. So go ahead and say the top sentence up there. I sing a lovely song. I sing a lovely song. All right. Let's try the middle sentence now. You go ahead and try first. The sun sinks below the clouds. The sun sinks below the clouds. All right, now to our bottom sentence. Go ahead and say that one. All right, we have two words that are important right here. She is seriously sick. Seriously sick, right? Okay, good job. So now for our speaking practice. So these sentences are a combination of the th, th words and the s words, right? So as you can see, you're gonna have to try and figure out what the words are, okay? So I'll give you just a few seconds to try them out yourself and figure them out, and then I will say I'll say the answer, and then I'll give you a couple more moments to practice what you heard, okay? So go ahead and try to say number 1 now. Okay, the word is, or the sentence is, that cloth is very thick. That cloth is very thick. Now you try it. Okay, number 2. Go ahead and try number 2 now. Okay, so the answer here is the thin branch will sink in water. The thin branch will sink in water. All right, go ahead and try that one more time. Okay, try number 3 now. Three. Okay, so number 3, I can't breathe and sing at the same time. I can't breathe and sing at the same time. All right, go ahead and try it again. And number 4, go ahead and try number 4 now. Okay, number 4 is I have a serious toothache. A serious toothache, right? Try it again. I have a serious toothache. All right, so during the week, I suggest that you try and practice saying these sentences slowly and carefully a few times a day. And if you do that, your pronunciation will improve. All right, so last thing we're going to do is do a bit of review from last week. Do you remember what the topic was from last week? If you don't, it's okay because the video is still there and you can go watch it on my channel anytime. All right, so let's check number 1. So as you can see, this one has a word missing from it because that's the word that we're looking for. So you go ahead and read the sentence, and then I will read it, and then you repeat after it, all right? So we're looking for which word that we practiced last week will fit for this sentence. Okay, so we're going to say, that old lamp has a very unique feel to it. You can also say the word vibe, feel or vibe. All right, now you try. Okay, number 2. Go ahead and say it now and then try to figure out what is the word we are looking for. What's the word that we learned? Okay, my uncle takes black and white photos with a film camera. The word we're looking for is old school, right? He is very old school. Okay. Now let's look at number 3. Go ahead and say number 3. Okay. That jacket is really stylish, even if it's old. The word that we are looking for is classic. That jacket is classic, right? Okay, go ahead and try number 4. Okay. I love playing the same video games I grew up with. So our word is retro. Those video games are retro, the ones that I grew up with. And now number 5. Go ahead and say number 5. Okay. No one wears that style of hat anymore. That hat is dated, right? Dated is the one that you're talking about something that's old, but you mean it in a negative way, right? Okay. How many did you get? Were you able to get all 5 or maybe just 1 or 2? If you think you need to practice more, again, you can always go back to the previous lessons and practice as much as you need to. In fact, if you really want to, when you're watching this video after the stream, you can just pause it and then go back and watch the other lesson, then come back here and get them all perfect. I'm not gonna notice because I'm not gonna see you doing it. All right, so thanks very much, and I hope you enjoyed this lesson. That's it for this week. So again, like I just said, find all my lessons on this channel in the previous weeks. And please make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this content and want to see more of it. All of that will help me produce more content for you to watch. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat, and I will see them and be able to answer them during the live stream. Or you can always leave a comment on one of my videos, and when I see it, I can respond to you. Okay, so until next time, see you later.